start hurting after a while.
He
Hey, bro,
didn't keep it all night too. He didn't keep it till like 3 in the morning. Back then, I was having problems.
All right, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we'll give all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, HaKadosh. Double honors to our apostles, the elders at Great Millstone, who rule well and who taught us this truth through the Spirit of the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose Hebrew name is Yahweh, all right, by Hashem, in the name of Yahushua, our mediator, our high priest, our way back to the Most High, all right, whom in these latter days we have been blessed and gifted with the Holy Spirit, all right, so that we can stand on our feet, as the prophecy said we would do, and do what? Prophesy, call on the name of Yahweh, Yahushua, okay, repent, clean ourselves up in preparation for the great marriage in which the Israelites, the sons of God, okay, will be brought back to their first estate, the glory that we lost through a great fall, starting with Adam, okay, and then Solomon, when the kingdom was rent. Since then, we underwent a mass destruction, man, okay, captivity after captivity after captivity, all right, but the Lord promised a mercy and an end to the captivity, which will come through Esau, Edom. And we're living in Babylon the Great, all right, which is, according to biblical prophecy, the last captivity for the Israelites, okay? So that's why you see camps raised up all throughout the four corners of the earth, is because it's synonymous with Bible prophecy. And right now we're living in a time where these prophecies are being fulfilled at a rapid rate, leading to what we know that John the Revelator saw in Revelation the 13th chapter, where the beast system would issue forth its charagma. We're right there, okay? That's going to be synonymous with what? World War III. Okay, ultimately them coming after the Israelites, because our prophecies, our message is against the powers that be. So there's going to come a point where this message is going to be deemed hate speech, is going to be deemed an enemy to the state, it's going to be an enemy to the NWO, and they're going to come after that. Those are three things that are going to happen right before the Lord gets us up out of here. All right, persecution, charagma, World War III, and it's going to happen rapidly. We believe 2022 could be the year, all right?
Isaiah chapter 52, verse 5. Now therefore, what have I here, saith the Lord, that my people is taken away for naught?
Right.
They that rule over them make them to howl,
Right.
saith the Lord.
And if you're not howling, you're not in the spirit. And even when our people try to act like they're not howling, really they're in pain, they're confused, they're suffering. You can see it in their eyes, even those who got money. Okay, they can't rest.
Yep.
They can't even go walk to the park. Okay, got to bow, do all these rituals. All right, and here it are, we're oppressed. Why are we in this low condition? Go ahead.
Right. And my name continually every day is blasphemed.
Here in America, Babylon the Great, the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is blasphemed. Case in point, we're in the time of what? Christmas. All right, which is ultimately a satanic holy day that they set apart on the left-hand side for them.
Yep.
All right, and you have to be mindful of what you celebrate.
Yep.
Because everything is synonymous with getting you closer to a particular power. What power is Christmas getting you closer to? The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob through his son? Hell no. It's getting you closer to Satan.
Right.
Right? So the name of the Lord is constantly blasphemed.
Yep.
Abortion clinics every damn where. Everything the Lord said to do, this devil makes it a point not to do it and then calls it science. Go ahead.
Yeah, because when you look at Christmas, this season is an amalgamation of several different pagan holidays. You got Roman Saturnalia, all right? You got the day of Yule, all right, from the Norse, all right? That's why you have all these brothers making mention of all the Amber Alerts that's been going on.
Man, bro.
Missing
Every
children
day,
everywhere,
every
man.
damn 3-4 times an hour.
Right. Because we're at the height of the season of child sacrifice.
Right.
That's what these pagan holidays go back to, man. Yep, yeah, the Yuletide, you know, Yule log sacrifice.
Compass.
Huh?
Compass.
If you look up Krampus, it's pretty much when you go into it, it's pretty much where the elves come from. But when you go in Norse, like Ireland and the areas over there, Krampus is like pretty much a demon with like goat horns, and they have old Krampus parades out there. Man, that goes back to Christmas.
Going back to old Saint Nick and all of that, which is around child sacrifice and more, man. Okay? So the Most High is continuously blaspheming. Verse 6 in Isaiah 52 says, therefore my people shall know my name, therefore they shall know in that day that I am he that doth speak. Behold, it is I.
Right, and his name is Yahweh. He didn't tell us to call him Yahweh. No prophet called, he didn't tell us to call him Ahia. No prophet called on the name of Ahia. You can go to throughout all of the history, none of the temples, none of the altars were built into the name of Ahia. They were all built in the name of Yahweh. Okay, and the Lord has returned that understanding unto us here in these latter days. Go ahead.
How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him that bring good tidings, that publisheth peace.
Right, and we're publishing peace to the Israelites. Peace in which that will lead to the whole earth being in peace. Okay? And here we're here to tell our people, look, a kingdom is coming for you, but they're so messed up in the head and drunk off of the philosophies of Babylon that telling them that is hateful.
Yeah, right.
To them, you tell them they're chosen. You tell them you got holy days in the very Bible they say they believe in, and they scoff at you. Why is that? Because the devil has worked a work on these niggas, man. And that work was worked on us as well. But there's a remnant who is going to come out of that madness. Okay? Because here it is, you got all of these institutions set up to where the Bible is supposed to be taught. Okay, you go to the institution of the Roman Catholic Church, you go to the institution of the Christian Church, and they're all pushing Christmas. They're not pushing to celebrate the Passover.
The death of the Messiah.
The death of the Messiah.
Christmas, that's
Right. Right. They're not pushing you to do anything that even brings you close to the God of the Bible. But here it is, they got the Bible in their hand.
Yeah. When you go to a mass, that's when someone died.
Yep.
Right? But then they'll tell you that this is about the birth of Christ.
Right.
It's just backwards.
Right. Now that X stands for basically to cross out.
Right.
And when you go into the Greek chi stigma, that chi is an X. And you know, it's ultimately them Xing out the Messiah and ushering in, all right, a new world under a new God.
Yeah, false Messiah.
A false Messiah, man. Right? Go ahead.
It says, that publisheth salvation, that saith unto Zion, thy power reigneth. Thy watchmen shall lift up the voice. With the voice together shall they sing.
And we're singing a new song. And this new song was not learned in the goddamn school institution of Esau Edom. This new song was directly taught to the sons of the Most High from the heavens to the earth. Okay, Jacob's ladder. That ladder represented our connection to the Most High. And who's that connection through? Yahweh, our mediator and high priest. And we've been taught of the Lord. Now what? We've turned back to him. And in the land of our captivities, we're putting off the idols. The very thing that got us in hell. Right?
It says, for they shall see eye to eye when the Lord shall bring again Zion.
Right. And the elect are going to see eye to eye.
That's right.
And that's happening here in these latter days. Okay? Go ahead.
Jeremiah 30:7. It says, alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
And that's what we are. And here it is. You got Israelite leaders downplaying it. You got Israelite leaders bickering back and forth. I'm going to expose this nigga. One brother sent the clip, Popey. Them niggas cursing, talking about, I'll beat your ass in front of your kids, you bitch ass nigga.
Yeah.
This is the type of madness that Jake is in. Well, literally, we're in the time of Jacob's trouble.
Yeah.
Because the gospel of the Bible is against the New World Order. You got to liken this to the time of the Maccabees when they were forcing our people to turn from the laws of the Lord. That's the type of atmosphere that's being set up. And if you're going to stand on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you got to understand what type of position you're going to put yourself in. You're going to make yourself a prey. These things should be expounded upon to our people. But the leaders of this people are mad. Okay, we're in a time where they're getting ready to rush in. We're in a time where they're going to say, look, either you bow to this image or you die. First, it starts with you being physically separated, right? Then, what did John say? He's going to cause you to be killed. Then he's going to come with what? The charagma, which is in mainstream news right now. And these are things that when we first came in, were just being talked about. Okay, the camps, all right, the quarantine camps. Those things were mocked at when we first came in. People were like, that'll never happen. Y'all fear mongering, right? Conspiracy theorists. And what is a nigga sitting here in America in 2021 don't believe in conspiracies?
Yeah. How can you call yourself an Israelite but not believe in conspiracy?
What the hell is wrong with you? Now, yeah, there's some bugged out stuff out there. Don't get it twisted. But to conspire is two or more planning to do evil.
You might be a conspiracy.
Yeah, the whole damn American government is a conspiracy against you Israelites.
Right. Psalms 83.
Psalms 83 is a conspiracy. Conspiracies are in the Bible.
Right. They conspired against them. Right.
Hey, when Queen Athaliah, so-called queen, well, she was a queen, right? Because a queen is a whore when you look up the origin. But when she saw that they was onto her, she said, conspiracy! Conspiracy! Basically saying they conspired together to get her off the throne. Conspiracy is in the Bible, man.
The word is literally in the Bible.
The word is in the Bible. Here is a nigga in 2020, that's a conspiracy that the government is planning to do evil. Whoever got a precept.
You know, it's just like, come on, bro.
Okay. Go ahead.
Now this is 2nd Ezra 15 and 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which that's what's important, speaking prophecy. All the other things is just really vanity, and you're doing that for your own ego, man. When we look up that word ego in etymology, it goes back to I. We're not here to push what we want. We're here to push the words of Yahweh by Shema service. So you got to put yourself aside in order to serve the Most High in all sincerity, man. But now we're starting to see these other, the Most High revealing that all these other so-called prophets are really doing it for their own agenda.
Right.
You got folk that they're just doing it for ego. Right. I mean, we're really just for an image. They ain't getting money or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you doing this for, bro?
The all-black Passover.
Yeah,
a Negro only. Niggas really threw a Negro only Passover.
It's like at least IUIC getting to the paper. What you doing, man? Fighting with each other and shit.
Bugged out.
Come on, man. Like some.
So what did this? Read that again, verse 1.
2nd Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy.
Speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, man. That's all that matters at this point. What the Lord's intent for this place. What's the Lord's intent for this place? The scriptures say in 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, we speak not ourselves.
Right.
We're not here to tell you our story. We're not here to get on to the video, though sometimes we speak as men as we're preaching. You may hear a man's opinion, what he likes. Brother may be mad at something that day that may trigger him to preach against a particular thing. That happens, right? But we're not here to utterly be emotional and just make this truth about a guy like a gossip talk show, man. And that's what you see happening throughout Israel. Everything's gossip. The Kemetic community, gossip. Interviewing this one about that one. I'm gonna expose this. They're showing pictures of each other's family, doing all of this weirdo shit, man. Meanwhile, everything that the prophets have been saying is lit. It's lit. Speak now, go ahead.
Which I put in thy mouth, said Yahweh.
Right.
And that's the issue, is that it hadn't been put in their mouth. See, the Spirit is not dealing with these guys to prophesy. But here, Great Millstone, there's the spirit of the school of the prophets to talk about the impending prophecies.
Right.
What's next? The conclusion of the matter, man.
No, you good. I mean, we pretty much stay in one place.
Okay? You got it, champ.
Come. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
That incredulity, man, that lack of faith, that lack of belief. See, when brothers was first coming out, when apostles and elders Well, first coming on to YouTube, brothers started to raise up and preach and talk about the MOTB and talk about the chips and talk about the concentration camps and you have other groups that said, oh, there ain't gonna be no nuclear war.
Yeah.
Those missiles ain't gonna get used.
Right.
There ain't gonna be no destruction.
Right.
The incredulity of them. And they will make videos coming against us.
Right.
The scripture says to not let their incredulity trouble us.
Right.
They're gonna die.
And then when we respond, man, yo, man, stop, man, all this division. But on their video, ain't nobody telling them to stop.
Yeah.
Only when we respond and go through and break things down or call something out, do it needs to stop.
Yeah.
But the nigga doing all of the wickedness, they never needed to stop.
We
Because
ne-
Israel has a history of hating the prophets.
Yeah.
Israel hates the ones who the Lord truly sent. Israel has a history of finding something wrong with them. That's why the Lord said the Messiah came eating and drinking. You called him a gluttonous.
Yeah.
John the Baptist came neither eating nor drinking, and you said he's the devil.
Yeah.
Niggas gonna find something.
Damn if you
Niggas gonna
do, damn
find
if you
something,
don't.
man.
But they talking about beating each other's ass in front of their kids.
Right.
But we're the monsters.
Right. Now imagine that your son there, and the dude just beat you. You see your daddy, nigga? You just pop, just
Yeah.
beat, just
Yeah.
stomping you out.
Yeah.
One of the greater men.
This your daddy, nigga. Pop in front of my son.
But how's that beneficial though to our well-being of our people and being restored as a nation though?
Hey, y'all got spirits on y'all. I mean, that's wicked as hell.
That's that E and J talk. That's
Right.
that Paul and Son, E and J.
Yeah.
mix.
Like your mama talk, man.
I'll beat you up in front of your beat.
Yo,
Yeah.
beat. Right, but these are the same dudes that are over here talking about we all need to come together. But it's all kinds of division.
These are the leaders of
That's why
Israel.
the unity camp though, yeah.
And anybody who's following them niggas, man, you gonna, hey,
You're an
good
idiot.
man, you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
We're speaking as faithful and true, like the brother just read in 2nd Ezra through the Spirit. That's why they really hate us.
Right.
As we speak, things is actually
Yeah.
happening, man. You know,
Niggas hate reality.
prophecy is undefeated, man.
That's right.
You know,
That's right. Hey, what the Saquon said, it's true, man. The so-called Negro Latino Native Americans, he has an identity crisis. One day he's an Israelite, the next day he a Christian, then he a thug. Don't make me get ugly over here.
right.
Like, nigga, what are you talking about,
how I
man?
get down.
You know how I do.
maybe to show you Frankie.
You know what I'm saying? And really, you supposed to be watching that old man.
Right.
You supposed to be looking at how you were back in the day, like, damn, that shit. I really was a crazy ass nigga, or really was this, or really was that.
Right.
You supposed to be glorified in that.
Right.
Hey man, we 30 plus, man. Do you really think you just gonna kick ass like that?
I'm not gonna fight nobody.
Damn.
Come on, man.
Listen,
Not like you, not
you
unless I
come-
have to.
If I have to, but I'm not fighting if I have
You too
to.
old for
Every
that.
time you fight, your hand get messed up.
Yeah. Nigga punching your tip, your ear messed up for weeks. Come on, man.
For what?
I can real quick.
Go ahead. The bottom line is prophecies. Prophecies here, man.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
God. This is 1 Corinthians 13 and 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child.
That's right. And a lot of our people, they're spiritually immature. And it's starting to be made manifest who's matured in the spirit of Yahweh Shah and who hasn't. Right? And these other camps, they're not mature, they're not growing up. Because their platform, or their foundation, I should say, is faulty. They're building on sin. You know what I'm saying? Allude to Matthew the 7th chapter. Right? The foundation is not a foundation that's solid, like stone. The rock, which is Yahweh Shah. Okay? And so we're going to see these various platforms be dismantled by the spirit of Yahweh Shah.
That's all the Lord. The House of Consciousness group, all of these platforms that was, so-called big. It's only so long bullshit can last. At some point, it's going to die out. All of these guys who had these pages, right? Every week, I'm exposing him. These exposed pages that were hot for a minute. Right? Where they at now?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's not standing the test of time. The only thing that's going to stand the test of time is the true, pure words of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which will be given unto the prophets.
Right.
That's the only thing. Go ahead.
God. 1 Corinthians 13 and 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child.
Right.
But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
Right. And that's ultimately going into your understanding of these scriptures, too. Because when we first came in, right, we understood the scriptures as little babes, little children. Okay? And there's particular things you may have struggled with, fought with to put off. But now look, you're aged in this truth. You know what time it is. You see the prophecies being fulfilled. You put away childish things. Now is the time to push a serious mindset into our people. Because like we always say, if you plan on being on in good graces of Yahweh Shai, you're not going to bow to the knee to the image of Baal. And what happened with Daniel when he didn't bow? They blamed him. The children of Israel who were in that captivity who didn't bow. They got blamed. They accused the Jews. And they're getting ready to accuse you. Because once all these people start dropping dead, Esau's going to say it's the unjuiced, it's the unactivated. Right. Which as people fall, particular people are going to start being pointed out more. Right. Okay? And the Israelites, somebody get Revelation 12 in the last verse. We got to bring that out. Because that's the times we in. Go ahead.
Revelation 12 and 17, it says, and the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High.
Now the dragon, when you go up earlier in the chapter, is tied to Herod, which was an Edomite, which was the Romans, right? But now that dragon, that beast system, is rebirthed in the earth through the same Edomites in the form of America, NATO, EU. Okay? Now, for him to be wroth with the woman who's the woman? Israel. When you get Jeremiah 6:2, I'm liking the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. So the dragon is going to be wroth. Read that again.
Revelation 12 and 17, and the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
The remnant. Now we say the remnant is going to be awakened in the latter days, right? Okay. Boss don't take too kind to this message, right? He's hearing what we're saying, and this is a declaration of war in his opinion. Right. Go ahead.
Which keep the commandments of the Most High,
right,
and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah.
That right there alone is going to separate you. That's going to make you a prey. If you keeping the commandments of the Lord, that means you're not, all right, acting as the world is acting. Right. You're actually abstaining from particular things. There's particular things you'll say, I'm not doing.
You're a traitor in their eyes.
Right. Whereas the world is saying you got to do these things in order for you to live, in order for you to work, in order for you to buy, in order for you to sell. Years ago, it was a mocking that something could be used to buy and sell with that's inside of you. Right. Now it's a reality, nigga. Right? And they're even using the juice pass to say you can't come in here, okay? And they're going to start saying we won't do business with you, period. Let's say you sell. Right. So if they could take a green pass, a juice pass, and say you can't get into my store if you don't have this, they're not able to do it with the Caragna? Absolutely they are, man. And that's where the world is going. Go ahead.
I'm just going to read this headline real quick from the Insider. It says, a Swedish company has created a microchip that allows users to carry a Vicky passport under their skin. This is written this morning.
Right, and then you tell the nigga that's just in Swedish. Nigga, that ain't here. Yeah. All right, bro. Yeah. That's a nigga. Yeah. You know, because first Solomon had it, then it was 666 white man, then it was the white woman, then it was a gun, then it was this, then it was that. Everything but what we see happening in front of us. Go ahead.
It says a Swedish startup has created a chip that can be implanted into the skin, displaying details of one's passport when scanned. The invention, created by tech firm Disruptive Subdermals, involves...
And we're just reading the news.
That's it.
So you Edomites, so you don't fuck all that strike. We're just reading what your people are doing.
Yeah.
We can strike you for reading the news. Go ahead.
It says, involves a pre-programmed scannable implant 2 millimeters by 16 millimeters in size being inserted just beneath the skin. It says, quote, I have a chip in my arm and I have programmed the chip so that I have my passport on the chip, and the reason is that I always want to have it accessible. Haynes,
right.
Soldier Bland,
I'm tired of a credit card. I'm tired of carrying around things. I'm tired of this. Right. The identity theft.
Right.
You notice they allow all of this scamming and stuff to go on to give people a sense of untrust, to give people like a sense of tenseness.
Right.
Well, he's going to bring the solution to all of that. It's gonna cure everything. Obesity. Okay, everything is going to be ultimately cured.
Yeah.
A left-hand salvation. Go ahead.
Yeah, and when the government wants you to do something, the money comes magically. Magically, they got all the money necessary to get everybody there. Where does money come from? You know? If there's a major disaster or something somewhere else, and now we all got to come together, the Red Cross has got to gather money, you know? But when it's something they ready to stuff down your throat, the money is already available. Or war. You know?
And there's no way you're going to have 500 million juices, because Biden, what did he say? He said, we're planning on sending every American a free test.
Yeah.
Right. Now, you don't, and he's talking about getting everybody, you don't have this many amount of juice if you didn't already do the shit.
Right.
You didn't just say, oh my God, I'm a Marion.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you got 500, come on man, 500,000 bro?
Yeah, and it's just available.
Yeah.
They prescribe cookies.
Yep.
Prescribe.
That's right.
I already put one for you real fast. Went back off the deceivableness of it. Revelation chapter 19. The point is in verse 20. I started verse 19. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army.
And all of these nations are going to fight Yahushua. You can see now, those beast EU countries are at the forefront of a lot of the propaganda surrounding this Jews. See? So they're at war with the Most High right now. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 20. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worship his image. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire burning with brimstone. So the point is that it said that they deceived them into taking the MOTB.
Yeah.
You see, so they're going to deceive you as in the sense of, you know, oh, do you have spinal problems? Right. Are you paralyzed from the neck down? Well, with this neural or whatever, you know what I mean, with this name, you will be able to gain access to particular joints again.
Or we'll be able to know who's a terrorist and who's not.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, by making them think that it's going to enhance their life, they deceived them. They made them think, hey, you need this or you're going to die. You need this to make everybody safe. You need this to bring peace. You need this in order for things to go back to normal. And what they're going to do is distort your day-to-day life, man. The Western world is changing. The normal get up, go to the coffee shop, you know, go to work, you know, work your little 9 to 5, gossip while you're at work, whatever. Cheat on your husband with your work husband. Then go to happy hour. You know what I'm saying? Go home, eat some damn takeout food that you just bought on your way back. Netflix and chill. Wait for the weekend. Cause that you're deceived. That whole process is about to be disrupted and removed. And to where you're going to be strained out, and then you're going to want to take them. You're going to want to bow down to
be
the
on your
image.
knees.
Yeah, man.
Because at that point, they're gonna take so much from you. You're not gonna have any freedoms to where you're gonna beg for any form of what you had.
Yep.
Even 3%. You just give me 3.
Yep.
I don't need it. Yep. And he's gonna be like, okay.
You're never going to get that income.
And these
tax
people
back.
study people's minds.
Yep.
They're high-level witches. They know how to keep evoking fear on people. They know when to say something, what colors to put out, what propaganda to put. Why? Because they study the brain. They study
everybody too.
Yep.
Your history on the internet, you know.
Yep.
They know your likes, your dislikes, your preferences, you know.
Yep.
Is there more to that? That was it on that.
All right. It's back in this article real quick. Finish it back up. It says Soldier Blind. I don't know how to say his name. Demonstrated for the AFP how it was possible to scan the chip with his phone to bring up a PDF that showed all the details of his digital certificate. A pass somewhat similar to the U.S. Vicky card. It indicates that
And if you think that you really need that for a goddamn cold,
yeah.
you really think that's their arterial motives? We gotta see who got a cold.
Yeah.
Right. No.
Yeah.
There's more to
Way
it.
more. The system of control, we saying when this first started, it's a system of control.
Oh yeah.
Is this not? And it will lead into absolute control.
Indian dialect, man.
Right. All of this fear all of the stuff they put in the news, all of the division, they're literally telling you, don't allow your family to come over if they ain't got it.
Yeah.
These are your leaders. They're literally telling you you're gonna die if you ain't got the juice.
Yeah.
Your children,
It's your
grandma.
It's your last Christmas.
It's your last Christmas, nigga. They're literally openly telling you this type of shit. So what does that do with the people? That causes you will die. They've created a whole, like we keep saying, they've created a whole religion. That's the power this devil has. Within a year to 2 years, they've created a new religion centered around the juice.
Yeah, that's it.
Right? And people are literally, man, you go online, people are fighting all day, just taking. Hell no, I'm not, it's my right. Well shit, you eat Doritos,
Right.
you eat gas station food, you can take a, it's all types of little stupid ass counter arguments.
Yeah.
They got a doctor now.
Yeah.
They have a doctor. Did you have polio?
Yeah.
Did you have chickenpox?
To a scientist now, man.
Yeah. They all sound meme scientists.
Yeah, right. And then they'll tell you, you're not authorized. You're not a doctor. Well, is Gates? Is he a doctor?
Yeah,
right. Well, now, he may be one, but Gates, that nigga used to use the computer man.
Yeah.
Right? But
everybody
to doctor means to falsify.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay? When you alter a document,
Right.
you put white out over it,
Right.
you just doctoring it up. The scriptures deal with healing. What you got?
I was just gonna add on to a point, man. They got damn pretty much a task force out there in Australia hunting people down the way Vicky, man.
Right.
They got people signing up to pretty much go to people's houses, the doors and things of that nature. So
And this is reality.
Say the movie.
They was saying that a couple months back, like during the summertime, talking about, if your family members, if you know somebody who doesn't, if you know somebody who doesn't have the thing or whatever the case may be, you can let them know through this website. And that's where the division's gonna come from, man. Family members turning on you, ex co-workers that was cool, Leonard down the street. Now he turning on you. Now, you know what I'm saying? These things are gonna happen, man.
Hey, can I get a quick one for this book? First Maccabees 1 and 56. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law which they found, they burnt them with fire.
Right, and this is what the Greeks did at the time of Hellenization. And the Greeks are back in power. We're in the Greco-Roman beast system as we speak. So what did they do at the time because first they came peaceable. Now, here it is, they're burning the Bible. They're burning the law. If you were found with the scrolls in your house, you were put to death, and they openly banned the Bible. Now the Pentagon just said what? No more dog tags with scriptures on them.
Yeah.
This is the Pentagon.
Look at it. What?
This, and that's how you know Christianity is not the MOTB. America is moving away from Christianity.
Oh yeah.
In the Bible. Go ahead.
All right.
And whosoever was found with any the books of the law of the testament, or if any consent to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death.
And John the Revelator saw this in Revelation the 13th chapter. He saw this very same type of behavior taking place in the earth. Now we're not there yet, but that's the sentiment. That's starting to become the sentiment. You deserve to die. Okay, that's the witchcraft that's out there. You deserve to die if you don't take the juice.
Right.
And they're saying take juice in order to heal the world, but then everybody who got it still, look at the NBA, they got to shut the NBA down.
Oh, yeah. Postponing games.
Right, now they're fully,
Like 97%.
so allegedly. So how in the hell, why you got to shut it down then?
Right.
So, and they want this type of confusion out there. They want people arguing. They want to, the Lord just got a reprobate spirit on them, man.
don't love your neighbor.
Right.
Just a quick point of history. Back during the time when the Greeks were taking and occupying different areas of what is understood as Judea, even over in Egypt, where we were at, a lot of the scribes had to flee into the mountains, and they had to hide the scrolls. And this is how a lot of the Old Testament manuscripts were found, down deep into caves. And those caves preserved the lambskin. A lot of the parchment that the Old Testament scriptures were written on, they were preserved because when you go down into these caves, it's very cool, and it's actually very dry. So it didn't destroy a lot of the parchments that we had, and it came out of a lot of those Israelites fleeing during the time of the Greek Empire to those caves. Also during the time of the Roman Empire, when we had to flee out of Masada, different areas when the Romans took over, that same process happened. So that's how a lot of the New Testament stuff was preserved when that happened during the time of Rome. Because the same thing was happening. Those who were found with these letters concerning issues that was going on with the Israelites, the Romans would kill you, man. Right? And so this book and everything that's talked about within the scriptures is a revolutionary book, man. So brothers and sisters that's coming into this knowledge and truly learning what this is saying, it's a threat to this kingdom. And so the same way that the Greeks and the Romans were persecuting our people back in that time, we're going to have that same thing happen when things get to a height. You have the Israelites coexisting with the Greeks somewhat, but then when everything started to go down, what happened? The Greeks came and persecuted the Israelites.
Under Alexander, they didn't persecute.
Exactly.
The persecution really started under Antiochus.
That's right. That's exactly right. And it's the same thing during the time of the Romans. There were certain seasons that was like, whatever, you know, but then there was other seasons that was hard charging, like Titus. Titus is probably one of the most famous Roman rulers that just hated the Israelites, man. You know, but when you go back to Augustus Caesar, you know, it wasn't like that. So, you know what I'm saying? We're coming into a time where you got Creepy Joe and he don't like Jake, man. He don't.
Trying to hide it.
If you go back and watch him from the 80s and the 90s, he hated niggas, man. And he uses the N-word. Okay? As he eats raw meat. You know? So he gonna come with that MOTV, man. You best believe.
He spoke peaceable words.
Yeah.
First.
He was the one that said, you will rule on that.
And that same, who was he talking to? A judge? Or he's talking, that same person who he was talking to when he said that, did that through the Obama administration, through the healthcare.
The healthcare, the Obama.
That very same one who he was talking to, he said, you will rule on whether or not Karakma. Right? This is Biden. Under the Obama administration, which he was the vice president, that was put into play with the Health Care Act, which 1,000 pages, you look on page 820, you see in you know, the Karakma.
Page like 1099 if I remember.
Karakma, just want to say something.
I was just going to bring that situation in that video.
Yeah, yeah, which you can't put it on YouTube now. You that video of Joe Biden saying that, you got to put that on another platform.
Yep.
Wow. See how much they censored in that little short period of time?
Right. You may be able, I mean, I haven't seen it. I was looking for it one time, but I got it downloaded. This nigga come after you. Got the video downloaded.
Knocking on your door.
Go ahead.
Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month.
Unrighteous decrees. Every month, we gonna go check, rate them, check to see if they got any scrolls, and if they got them, put them to death.
Yeah.
I was reading history. If they were even playing particular Israelite games, because we had particular games we would play, they would roll on you for playing a game.
Well, there was games and there was poems with the games that reminded you of the High Holy Days. It's how the kids learned the High Holy Days. So they had a game where you would play and you would sing a song that talked about Passover, talked about the Day of Atonement. So, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And so if they found that game, they kill you, man.
Okay. Yeah, I read that, but I didn't. That's dope.
Yeah.
And you see a small nuance of that of the whole testing on it. If we don't have the Batus, we got to get tested. Well, I know some brothers have to get tested every week. You know what I'm saying? That's a small way of them imposing their authority on it.
Yeah.
Isaiah 59:14, it says, and judgment is turned away backward,
and justice standeth afar off. For truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. Here's the point. It says, yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey.
He that depart, truth faileth. The truth fails here.
Right.
The truth is not uplifted. The top institutions you go to, they're all rooted in wickedness. Okay, everything's a snare. Truth faileth. You tell the truth, people hate you.
You're trying to destroy the connection to
Right.
the Most High.
Right, but if you stand out against all of the wickedness, you make yourself a prey.
Right. Ostracized,
Right.
marked for death.
Yeah, you try to eat right and talk about health in front of niggas and herbs, you make yourself a prey.
All that. Holy days. And,
Right. You celebrate the Passover to a nigga. That's the Old Testament stuff with a big ass Christmas tree in their house,
Yeah.
which is bugged out.
Right.
It's a stupid folly. What the hell is a big grown man doing with a Santa Claus hat and woman with a Santa Claus hat on, with the dressed like slippers,
Right.
with a big tree?
Right.
Oh damn!
Look, dressed up like elves.
Wow!
Right. Anybody that believes in this Bible is going to be made a prey pretty much. That's what it's coming to. Anybody that so-called believes in the Heavenly Father, they're going to be made a prey. That's what's coming, man.
Right, big head.
They're too big for that. Yeah, just got 2 weeks. Green with hands in it. You know what I mean?
And where do niggas get all these hats?
Yeah, she big. She couldn't even step up the rock, man.
It's like niggas got all of these hats. Where the fuck all these hats come from?
Yeah. Walmart.
The nigga woman always got that hat.
That's where they got the most. Nigga go right back to the Walmart.
Those hats in here in Babylon.
Yeah.
We'll never see those again after this.
They had to wear hats around the group card.
Yep,
You know,
yep,
They
yep.
look very similar to that too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they made him wear a hat.
They look very like damn near the same.
Oh, for real? God damn.
At the point, you know what I mean?
Go ahead.
Let me just finish off on this. It says, yea, truth felleth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. Yeah. So you're marked whenever you go against the status quo of this society.
Right.
If you go against what Christmas, Easter, the traditional mindset, you know, go against feminism, you go against the alphabet game,
Right.
you go against that, you make yourself a prey, man. And you can't announce how you truly believe on Facebook unless you're going to be completely ostracized.
You're able to do everything but serve the Lord.
Yeah.
You can say everybody got a platform and a movement.
Yeah.
I'm this sexual. I'm that. I'm this. I believe in this. I fuck rocks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
You got a voice, but you say you're an Israelite.
I can have more than one woman.
Right. Well, you can't say that. A man can say I'm a woman.
Yep.
A woman can say I'm a man.
That's
But if you call yourself an Israelite, cut. And when is gangster rap, again, YouTube, when is gangster rap going to get this attention of focus for the problem it's causing?
Especially drill music.
It's a new nigga getting shot every week.
Yeah.
Right? Now, a lot of it's enchantments, but that rap music, drill music is leading to people dying. So why on YouTube aren't you saying this is hate speech? You damn devils.
And on YouTube, or not YouTube, I'm sorry, not YouTube, but on like Clubhouse, in particular app, man, it be niggas on Clubhouse just talking all kinds of shit, man. Yo, Whack 100, all these niggas talking about how they gang affiliations, talking about how they want to, man, back in the day, I mean, they arguing and shit. Right. The so-called gang members openly saying this shit,
Setting up beefs.
and it's literally a platform that they can just openly just talk about this shit.
Right.
This
Because they
place
want
is
to keep
wicked,
doing that
man.
state.
A lot of niggas CIA.
Yeah.
Especially Whack 100.
They be calling them a cop.
They operatives. It's like everybody hardcore.
6'9".
Everybody was in a gang. Everybody shot somebody.
Right.
Everybody got shot.
Everybody was in the 90s.
Remember a nigga was getting shot every other day? Cameron, Beanie. All these niggas is fake, man. Jim Jones, all these niggas. All of these niggas are like, and some of them are talented. Don't get it twisted. It ain't like we don't listen to some of the shit. We ain't here on that kick.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is it's all ultimately set up by Esau.
They're set up to push an agenda.
Yep.
And then anytime you notice when these celebrities, they go off from the agenda, they're forced to apologize openly and quickly.
Yeah.
They can't talk and say what they want to say, man. They have to say what the elites is telling them to say, man.
Right.
They have to bring a certain energy or you get ostracized. Look what happened to Cam Newton.
Right. So this puts us, get that in Revelation 14, this puts us in a very, very, very narrow place.
Yeah.
The straight gate.
That's right.
Which before you walk in the straight gate, you ain't moonwalking, pop locking.
Yeah.
You know, no man. When Yahushua, before he got crucified, it said he was of a sorrowful mind. Somebody can find that. He was thinking about, damn, that's what we should be doing. Right? Go ahead.
Revelation 14 and 8.
So we've been talking about those who have an agenda against the beast system are going to be ultimately sought after. You're going to make yourself a prey. Now, when you read Revelation, the 14th chapter, that new song that will be sung, given to the servants, the prophets, okay, the 144, that is directly opposed to the NWO. And let's read it. Go ahead.
Revelation 14 and 8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
The wine of the wrath of her fornication, the political field, the holidays.
Right.
Christmas is a part of that wine. So we're speaking against Christmas. We're speaking against the NWO. We're speaking against the daughter of Babylon. So here it is. Now you got a platform to do that, but that's going to eventually, there's a reason John the Revelator gave you the vision of Revelation 13 and the vision of Revelation 14. Because while this nigga is trying to implement his plan, there's going to be prophets out. And this is going to be their message. Go ahead.
And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive the mark in his forehead or in his hand,
Right.
the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High,
Right.
which is poured out without mixture.
So basically, you're going to be judged.
Right.
That's the message of the prophets. Now here it is. The beast system is saying this is what you got to do. On the right side, the prophets are saying if you do that, nigga, you're gonna get destroyed.
Right.
This the judgment from the Lord.
I was just saying, like, when we have to understand that thing, and the cigar brings this out often, that image and that mark are two separate things, but they correlate on a very, very intimate level. Because with these various ideologies that are pushed, that's ushering in that Karaku, man. You see what I'm saying? People out there that believe in transgenderism, transhumanism, blackness and all that, wokeness and all that. That's leading them to take that milk,
Right.
because they're going to have to sustain. They want to try, or they're going to want to try to sustain a certain lifestyle.
Right. Yep. They soften them up.
Yeah.
To that image, and that image, they're pushing fear if you don't bow to it. So, when you read Revelation 13, John said, ultimately they let's get that in Revelation 13 real quick.
I was holding it.
Get it in the blue letter. Or read the part about the image.
Okay. Verse 15, where it said it would be killed.
Read that.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast.
He had power to give life into the image of the beast. Now, who's the he? When you read this chapter, it's speaking of Esau, Edom, man. He's the beast. And it said it started with the leopard. What's the leopard synonymous with in prophecy in Daniel the 7th chapter? The Greeks. The Greeks were the beginning. That's why they tell you civilization started with the Greeks. It didn't. Okay? Edomite power structure on earth started with the Greeks.
Right. That's right.
Okay? Go ahead.
It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast.
Right.
That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Now the image of the beast is deeper than the picture of Jesus Christ.
Right.
The image is what you see. What you see is speaking ancient Rome, ancient Greco-Rome into existence. Everything you see speaks to ancient Greco-Rome.
Yeah.
Right now, the gem goes back to what? The Greeks. The idol, this holiday right here goes back to Saturnalia.
Yep.
Where did the Greeks and the Romans get their gods from? Egypt, Babylon. Okay? So you're seeing the Roman Empire living through America. It's speaking.
Through what we understand as the West.
Right.
And America's at the forefront of it.
Yep.
And when you look at, and this is why we always say, every facet of society is inundated with ancient Greco-Roman philosophies and mindset. It's the complete image of it, from finance, from socioeconomics, from politics,
The Constitution.
religion, politics, like the elder said, food and what they promote. But even when you look at how much they promote the pig, it's like it's worship.
Fast food goes back to Rome.
Yeah, everything, man. Everything goes back to this Greco-Roman image, and it's now just with a smartphone. Okay, we have to understand when we're talking about the image of the beast, how that encapsulates an idea and brings life and brings it somewhere. Okay,
Right.
It's a likeness.
right, and yeah, and so all the institutions should support this idea.
Right.
All right.
So if your teacher is telling you the image is just simply white Jesus, now that's a part of the image. Don't get it twisted. Christianity, all of these lies, that's a part of the image. Right? But the image is far more complex than just the actual picture you can point at. Oh no, it's this whole system.
Exactly.
It has what did Daniel, the 7th chapter, prophesy? You had the fourth beast, okay, and then it had a little horn that came from it. The little horn is Babylon the Great. It's the revival of the ancient Roman Empire. So read that again.
Done. Right. Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not
It's
worship.
speaking. The Senate, the unrighteous decrees, all of these things are speaking the ancient Roman way of life. The Greeks too. Democracies come from what? Athens, Greece. And that's also where draconian measure come from. So all of the ways of the ancient Greco-Roman system are back.
Latin term, Roman numerals.
Roman numerals.
Yeah.
The medicine, what is it rooted in? Occult, left-hand practices. The Greco-Roman god of healing was Asclepius. And we know what that sign of Asclepius was. Look it up if you don't know. Go ahead.
It says, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Right, so if you don't worship, now let's look up 2 words. Look up worship.
This word worship in the Greek is proskuneo.
Right.
Right? It says to kiss the hand towards one.
Right, meaning you're showing reverence. And that's when you run out there without questioning and just get the juice, that's a way of showing reverence, okay, to this beast system. You're joined into a marriage through ultimately the image and the mark. That's going to make a covenant. Okay? Go ahead.
Yep. It says, I'm going to read a couple here. It says in the New Testament, by kneeling or prostration to do homage to one or make obeisance, whether in order to express respect or to make supplication.
Right.
And then
And that's what they want you to. Now we always say Esau got a God complex.
right.
Okay? So he uses various left-hand means to get you to bow to his image. It's like we just talked about gangster rap. That's a part of it, because within the image of the beast, you're a peon. Within the system of Edomite supremacy, that's why Neely Fuller says what? If you don't understand white supremacy, everything will confuse you. If you don't understand the beast system, now he doesn't expound on it as prophetic as we do, but he goes into it. If you don't understand this system and who rules it and what you're against, everything you encounter is only going to ensnare you.
Right. Confuse the hell out of you.
Confuse you.
It says, homage rendered to the Most High and the ascended Messiah, to heavenly beings.
Right,
and
so
demons.
you're basically saying he's your God.
Right.
You're acknowledging, you're Xing out the Most High. Faith in the Most High is not being promoted no more. Everybody's onto science. Okay? Now, go ahead.
Just to add on to your point, like the elder was mentioning about faith, Yahweh Shai specifically said, shall he find faith on the earth?
Right.
Whenever he returns. Because it's going to be the devil, Satan, Esau, he's going to make it to a point to whereas you are going to have to rely on his decrees, his system, in order to have any facet of life that you want. That's why Yahweh Shai mentioned the straight gate.
Right.
See, and it's only going to be a few that are going to that's going to go through that path, man. The faith, and what's the faith going to be? The faith is going to be trusting in Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, man.
And it's building.
You know? Yeah, exactly. Can I get this word killed for you as well? This word killed in the Greek is apoktuno. It says to kill in any way, whatever, to destroy, to allow to perish. Now I want to get the root.
Go back out and click on the word under that, because that word doesn't fully go into it. root of it. What did it say?
The root of it says a separation.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay.
It says a separation,
Right.
of local separation.
Of local separation. Now, when John the Revelator saw this vision, he saw the beast, this man, saying, if you don't bow to my image, you're going to be separated. That's what that word kill go. Now, yeah, it's going to be a physical kill, but first, you're going to be separated. Social distance. You can't come in here. The people, the families are being divided over what? The Jews. So he's literally, John, go ahead.
It says of departing, of fleeing, of any kind of separation of one thing from another by which the union or fellowship of the two is destroyed.
Fellowship. If you don't have this, you can't come into my store. And that's going to hurt the businesses. Businesses are going to hurt behind that. Telling people you can't come in.
Oh,
And that's what Esau wants.
Yeah, it's going to become a black market out here, man. You're going to have people who resist,
Right.
who allow for those who don't have the whatever certificate
Right.
to come in, and then they're going to start having to police that.
Yep.
And they're going to have to start to, it's going to become that type of battle and fight,
Right.
where a society is going to get shrink for those who don't take it. And you're going to have to find avenues to move around. There's going to be, hey, man, if there's any school we go to.
That's why wherever you go, you treat people with respect.
Yep.
There's restaurants you go to,
Yeah.
tip them, give them a little something, and they're going to remember you. You treat them with respect. You know, it's an ancient custom. You straighten your table up before you get up. I'm big on that.
Yeah.
So people, they'll notice that. It's rice everywhere. Although they got people paid to clean up, you don't leave the table. You kind of, you know what I'm saying?
And that represents you represent your how about your shop.
Right.
You know?
Your son leave a bunch of damn rice. You're like, damn, you just clean up a little bit. So ultimately, those things, people, they'll remember you. Oh, I remember them. It may feed you. Hey, the Lord is going to work a work, but we gotta just continuously walk through that straight gate. You gotta believe. Because you damn sure can't rely on Esau. So that's not an option. All right.
So if you focus on the things you might not receive, or things you're gonna lose, that's really wavering. Like it says in James, the first chapter, we're praying for a covering, but you have to believe in a covering. Right. Focus on, oh man, this is gonna shut down. Oh man, I ain't gonna go to the gym. I ain't gonna be able to eat favorite tacos. Man, those falafels, man. No, you gotta have faith. Well, you know what? The Most High is gonna provide. It's gonna be it's gonna be tough.
We can make it rain for life.
It's gonna make provision.
You was gonna say something?
Oh, God. This is Luke chapter 4 and verse 6. It says, and the devil said unto him, I'll start at verse 5. And the devil taking him up into a high mountain, showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will give it.
Now, this is Satan tempting Yahushua to bow to him, but he offered him the world. You niggas bowing over, I can't go to Arby's. Arby's, nigga?
Yeah, right.
You gonna niggas are giving up their soul for an $18 an hour job.
Yep.
Like the Lord can't give you if that's your, you know what I'm saying?
Probably in the bag.
Yeah. The bag. $30 an hour ain't nothing.
They really ain't.
It's nothing. It sounds good because you're in Esau's system, right? But, maybe if you live in Shreveport, but that's probably high now. Monroe, maybe Grambling, you live out there, that shit cheap. But ultimately, that ain't no money. That's come on, man. This system is done any damn way. So you gonna bow to the image of the beast. Here the Yahushua was offered the whole world. Now he already gonna get the whole world, so he was like, nah. But Yahushua had to do something before he got that. Before he was able to get back to his glory, he had to go through a straight gate. So we're faced with the same thing. And we go bow to Satan. He ain't offering us the world. What is he offering? Access into the NWO? Right. Then what? So if you take the Karama, then what?
Right. And what did you actually get?
What did you gain? What did Eve actually gain? Destruction. Now she's able to sit on the pedestal and act like she this. in that, but in a sense, you lost.
She's empty too.
You empty. So here it is. Yahweh Shai is promised with the whole world. Go ahead.
It says, verse 7, if thou therefore will worship me, all shall be thine. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, get thee behind me, Satan.
Right.
For it is written, thou shalt worship Yahweh thy power, and him only shalt thou serve.
There you go.
That's the image you're supposed
Right.
to follow.
Right.
And everything that comes along with an image. You know what I mean? What it represents. That's who you're supposed to be following. Not the image of the beast.
Right.
And what this system is trying to tell you and coerce you to do.
They're trying to make you in their image for that fourth industrial revolution.
Right.
We're trying to be made in the image of Yahweh Bashem El Shai. You see? Because there's an image on the right-hand side through the Most High, through His Son. And that's going to lead to us receiving eternal glory. So how in the hell we gonna bow to Esau's promise, which he ain't promising you shit? That he could control you, cut you off at the drop of a dime if you don't agree, social credit scores. That's all that's promised. Hell in the NWO.
Right.
All right? Finish?
I got that word image.
Okay.
I want to touch on this real quick because you talked about the image of the beast. We talked about the image of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. When you look up that word there in Revelation the 13th chapter, I believe it's the 15th verse, and get image, it's Strong's G1504, which is icon.
Icon.
See that? Icon. It says an image, figure, likeness, an image of the things, the heavenly things, used of the moral likeness of renewed men of the Most High. See that? It says used of the moral likeness of the renewed men.
Moral likeness renewed. And America renews the morals of the ancient Roman Empire. But on the right-hand side, go ahead.
Right. It says, so when you come into the truth and you're made new, right? You're born into a new image of yourself. Right? It's a renewed, it says the moral likeness of renewed men to the Most High. So when you are washed with the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, you come into that image, that heavenly image with him, man. Through what? The Lord's sacrifice and your repentance. Okay? The image of the Lord, the image of the Son of the Most High, unto which true Christians are transformed, is likeness not only to the heavenly body, but also to the most holy and blessed state of mind, which Hamashiach possesses. All right? So the Most High possesses our mind and cleanses our minds up with the Spirit, right? The Spirit of understanding. That's what He left behind for us.
Right, and that's why we're likened unto the temple. But Esau said, I'm going to sit in the temple.
Yeah.
Right? That's what he's trying to do.
That's what He's trying to do. He wants to physically come into you and control.
Right, to make a covenant.
Right?
That's why it talks about the name of the beast.
Yep.
The name of the Lord is on us. When you marry someone, when you marry a woman, what does she do? She takes your name. That's why it says in Isaiah 4, only let me be called by thy name.
Yep.
Esau is trying to put his name on the Most High's creation.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And that's why he uses his technology, because his internet and his technology suggests being all-knowing. You can search the web for everything, right? So if I implant you with this and you become one with that, now I gave you the Holy Spirit of understanding, right? That would do his artificial being.
It's an alternate way to glory, so-called.
Right. Now, when you go back to this in subsection B, it says the image of one of whom the likeness of one is seen, applied to man on account of his power of command. And so that's the image that Esau is able to push, man. Because he's in what? Satan rules this world, and so because of his spirit, he's a child of Satan. All right? He's pushing Satan's agenda on earth, man.
Somebody get that Second Thessalonians.
Yep. Second Thessalonians,
or whatever you got, wherever you want.
Second Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day should not come except there come and falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed,
Right.
the son of perdition.
Right, at that time, what did they think? They thought because Yahushua came, that was the end. Paul is basically telling you, no, the end ain't go. Esau's the end of the world.
Yeah.
And he ain't gonna fall under this Roman Empire right here. The Roman Empire is gonna fall. Ultimately, it failed, the Western Roman, but that beast system is gonna be ultimately crushed through the revival of it. And there was a whole bunch of prophecies that would have to happen. The falling away, 70 AD till now. Okay, go ahead.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, all that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is God.
And that's what he's doing. Through his technology, he got everybody's mind occupied on what he wants them to be occupied on. Through this technology, people have forgot about the Most High.
Everything.
I got Google. I got a microwave.
Yeah, Alexa.
I got Alexa. Which that's nothing but the bitch from the Jetsons. She ain't moving around and all of that. But that's all she is. Right?
Just a recreation.
Because he gave it out. Remember, he was giving out Alexa. What do you think that's for? He's listening to you. But it gives you some sort of like, you know, I want to listen to reggae music today. Alexa, play reggae. She don't talk back. It's like a digital slave. What time is it? Remind me to do this.
Make you feel empowered.
So if you ain't got the spirit, you're like, nigga, I'm in heaven.
Ain't no better than this.
I mean, this ain't getting no better than this. I can put a profile up online, have all of the sex.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want. I can be a duck.
Yeah.
I want to be a duck today. I'm a duck. Quack, quack, quack. You got a platform where people will give you money to be a duck.
You can jump in the metaverse and really go all out.
Right.
You go viral.
Right. So the image of it is deep. It's deep, man. Go ahead. Okay. So he wants to sit in the temple of the Most High and show that he is the Most High.
Right.
Go ahead.
Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know of what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time.
He got to be revealed in his time. The time of so-called white man, hardcore being labeled an Edomite.
Man, who get their ass kicked this early, man?
Nice.
And know ye not what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time.
Right, and you got to know the truth. The only way to get through this is understanding, because you'll be bugged out of your mind. Okay, there is a God. Well, why is this happening? How is he going to end? What is he going to start? That's why Psalm 73 said, when I came into the congregation of the Lord, then I understood their end.
Right.
You got to know that this truth, it brings everything into under. Because it's like, why is the Lord, just like he allowed Pharaoh, the Lord is going to let and allow this man to do his wickedness.
Right.
Okay? But he's going to be revealed
Exactly.
synonymously, which that's why the awakening of the Israelites is so important in prophecy.
Yeah.
Because that is the starting process of wickedness being confounded, okay, the testimony going out, and Esau being blamed.
Right.
Go ahead.
For the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
Right.
And in my study Bible, that word iniquity goes into lawlessness. Lawlessness that is alluded to talking about lawlessness on the scriptures.
Right. And that's the Roman Empire.
Absolute blasphemy.
Right. The Roman Empire. They were already at work. They already had, at that point, what was Herod doing? He's calling himself the king of the Jews.
Right.
What are they doing in Israel now? Saying that they're the Jews. They already were at work. They have been trying to get to that position since the Babylonian Empire. Okay? So Paul is letting, even before that, they were trying to get in position to get control of the Holy Land. They want the blessing back, man. Right? And it never really belonged to them in the first place, but for the movie's sake, it just was written how it was written. But Jacob was given that birthright in the heavens. The story was written, okay?
For the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
Right.
Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way.
Go ahead.
And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
The prophets. This is the spirit of the Lord's. Now the prophets are an extension of the Lord's voice and his hand.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Boom.
So you see in this empire being raised up all to fulfill prophecy. And he talks about that in what, Romans 9? That he allowed Pharaoh to rise up just to show, so he can show his power in him. Right? And so now we see this system, it's getting ridiculous, man. It does seem like, dang, man. It'll seem like you have to submit. That's what it says in the book of Revelation, man. Like, who can make war with the beast? You know? But the Most High is going to show his power over the matter with the way this place that goes down. Like the three things that Yahshua was talking about when we opened, man. We're coming in a time of peril. World War III. All right, we're coming in a time of them implementing the MOTB.
We're here.
Right? And just great confusion, and them coming to persecute those who are preaching his word. When those things start to come together and converge in prophecy, we know Yahweh shall return.
I got it.
Okay?
I'll read down. Just 20. This is Psalm 73 and 17. Until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High, then understood I their end. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou casted them down into destruction.
Right, so when you start to understand the word of the Heavenly Father, you came to the sanctuary, then you started to see, oh man, okay, this place is going to take a disaster, man.
Right.
So woe to it, man. Okay?
Right.
Because when you read up, it's like, man, it seems like the wicked just be winning.
Right.
You know?
We took
This
the ultimate
Illuminati
red
thing is
pill.
kind of sounding good.
We took the ultimate red pill because we see things for what they really are now.
Exactly.
And that brings a sense of comfort to our spirit, man.
Right,
When you
right.
see whatever happen, you just balance like, man, it's all the will of the Most High.
Yeah.
One thing establishes the good of another.
Right.
You know?
Right. How are they brought into desolation as in a moment they are utterly consumed with terrors? As a dream when one awaketh, O Lord, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image.
Yeah, man, that's how this place is going to, the memory of this place is going to flee away. And the terrible, you have been in a bad dream, man, where you just can't fight back, you taking L's, you know what I'm saying? For some reason, you can't punch.
Right.
You
Now,
know? And every time you punch the person in a dream, it don't do nothing to him. It's just like,
and two, the Lord has awakened through his prophets, and he's despising their image through this word.
Absolutely.
A shameful spewing is being spewed upon the glory of the wicked, which their glory is they got by fair play. They got to where they got through wickedness, man. Rape, robbery, murder, theft, deception.
that never lasts.
Even children, man. They don't give a damn. And now they're going to sit up there and try to sit at the seat of morality, and after all of that say you got to do this in order to live, and you are going to accept of it? Yeah, hell no, man. I'd rather go back to the spirit world before I allow this nigga to continue to just absolutely inject juice. Hell no. Take me back to the spiritual realm, man.
And it ain't like it's benefit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The more you the more you allow it, the worse off you gonna be.
And it's happening. We're seeing it. Niggas can do all type of shit happening.
That one meme where he had the dude that was all jacked up, you know what I'm saying? It's about you can't go nowhere, but he was looking terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because that's going into the prophecy. Those that consent unto them shall be had in derision.
Yep.
Okay?
It's getting worse and worse and worse too, man.
Go ahead.
Job 14:4. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean thing, out of an unclean? Not one. Seeing his days are determined.
Who can bring a clean thing? And you niggas go to the ballot every year, every other 4 years, to try to make something unclean clean.
Right. Unless it's
Yeah, like Tyler Kwame.
Right. Like Talib Kweli, a smart dumb nigga. We gotta hold these politicians accountable. Nigga, ain't no justice coming from this side of the world, man.
He doesn't
It's gonna
understand
come
white
from
supremacy like
yeah.
Neely
You don't
said.
understand it?
You don't understand
They
it.
control the judges. They control who's being put in office. You going to them is ultimately you bowing to them, man.
Playing right into their hands.
Man,
Feeding into
come on, buddy. You gotta do this. You gotta do. That means you're inferior. You're in a, you know. You showing that like damn.
Trying to negotiate with the devil.
Now if they pass some shit that is in honor, you get $1,400. I'm like, hey, you put the $1,400 in my account, but I'm not gonna go begging you for a goddamn thing. And I'm damn sure not gonna expect. Like, do you expect the Epstein case to really lead to justice, to where the true pedophiles are stopped? No.
The best way to combat this is to go and compel the minds of the people to change, man.
Right.
That's how this is right here, the preaching, this is the rebellion.
That's right.
It's raising up a nation. The spirit power, Yahweh,
But it's a process, and niggas don't have patience.
yeah.
Niggas, you're so used to microwave. Righteousness takes time, man.
Rooted inside the seed, right? That's right.
Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee.
Right, the number of his months are with you. There's an end to his bullshit.
Right.
The Lord is not going to create this beautiful vessel. You go to the beach, you look at nature. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. You think the Lord created this beautiful vessel just for it to be ran like this forever? No. The Lord is there's an end to his shit. And he knows he's at the end. Get that in Revelation 12?
I just think that's
Get that? He knows.
Yeah.
That's why now they're openly talking about so-called aliens, so-called UFOs.
Asteroids.
In the news. They hide it on the buzz term, alien, asteroids. Those are the angels of the Lord.
Right.
Right? Go ahead.
Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
And he's not going to pass those bounds. His ugly ass is going to be stopped.
He's on borrowed time.
He's on borrowed time. He's played the hell out too. So that's why the Lord said he's going to let until that nigga is taken out of the way. And he can't go past the being taken out of the way part. And that's what he's trying to do.
His bounds are the prophecy.
Right.
Everything he does according to prophecy
Right.
is one step closer to his
Right.
end.
Right. And now he's in a, don't think that these elites are not in straits. Because what they're doing, they have to figure out a way to separate it from what John the Revelator saw. Now they got to get around the charagma and say, well, it ain't this, it ain't that, da 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 da. But no, you're doing what the Bible says you was going to do. And everybody, it's starting to be a common term, those Israelites were right. Right? Though I don't agree with their ideology, they were right. On comment boards of particular videos of people say, hey, the Israelites talked about this.
Right.
And it's going to become a bigger thing where Esau's going to use that to say it's their fault. They're the ones who's leading to all of these nuts in the world. Go ahead.
This is Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea,
Right.
for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath.
Come down onto you. Here it is. An Israelite teachers ain't preparing you for that.
Right.
You're supposed to be blowing if the wolf is coming. Oh, you're supposed to blow the horn.
Right.
We're in the time to prepare our souls to separate. So if your mind is geared towards my marriage, my house, which is nothing wrong with marriage, there's nothing wrong with having a house. But marriage is between you, the woman, the families, and whatever y'all write between that agreement has nothing to do with the state of your captivity. Because you got these Israelites trying to push a marriage certificate as the foundational way of marriage according to the Bible. They keep bringing up the scriptures that talk about written document. The document, there were written documents, but the documents were between the families.
Right.
Okay, on land, because there was land rights tied to marriage. You didn't just marriage was far beyond sex, but what act, according to the scriptures, consummated the marriage? The agreement. Yeah, there were rights and the dowry, the token of virginity. That was the covenant being openly it's with blood, and that's where you had the wedding chamber. And then once the token of virginity was showed, Israel don't want to bring that out.
Right. They ain't doing none of
They
that.
want to bring out
that.
because you can't find a virgin here. But the bottom line is, if you're gonna promote the true marriage, why are you scared to add sex? Sex was a part of marriage.
Right.
Yeah, there were written documents at times, but the focal point of the marriage and the union was binded by sex. So yes, sex is marriage. Okay. Yes, there were agreements that the families made. We get that. But sex is, at the end of the day, marriage.
And not on supporting is for generation, legacy,
right,
man.
Right. It's for legacy purpose.
Enterprise.
Pleasure comes with it. But the purpose of sex is to forward your legacy. Which where's the legacy of any nation? It's in the sack of a man, the loins of a man. So sex is a business. It's business first, right?
Oh yeah.
But there's the Most High created to where pleasure comes with it.
Be fruitful and multiply, man.
Be fruitful and multiply, man. So stop pushing this damn marriage certificate, which the marriage certificate has done horrible for our nation. It's keeping the woman takes all of now you tie yourself in covenant with the state. Now you got some particular brothers who did it. You're not wicked. You know what I'm saying? You got particular, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe your wife had to, she may be from another country, you got to marry her just to get over here. Hey, it is what it is. But we're just saying, you're not wicked if you wouldn't got, you do, first of all, you do what you want. That's your woman. But for you as an Israelite leader to push that as a doctrine, to say the Most High requires it, that's wicked, man.
The Most High requires you to get your name changed in the government.
Right. Now it would be smart for you and that woman too, but if this goes, you know, y'all to have a little agreement. And you honor it, but it got to be through what? It got to be based upon the standards of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
Right.
Go ahead. This state don't honor the Most High. That's why the preacher with his nasty ass looking at your wife and standing there by the power invested by the state. Okay? With your license is a permission.
Right. Boosie got a license to marry people.
Yeah. Well, Queen Latifah married people at one of them rituals. Yeah.
Signed up online.
Yeah.
She's actually ordained a prayer.
Yeah.
She's ordained.
Now this nigga got a side business marrying people. Go ahead.
They ain't never been
And she'll fix your taxes. With no man.
Fix your place and shit. Revelation 12:12, it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath.
And Biden is speaking that. Biden is mad. But it's not really him, it's the elite. But they're saying, look, we're going to have to do what it falsely say. We're going to have to do unpopular things because people don't want to cooperate.
Right.
Go ahead.
Because he knoweth that he had but a short time. So Esau, Edom, they know they have a short time to try to fulfill their new world order enterprise. But like in Job 20, it says, in the fullness of sufficiency, they're going to be in straits, man. It ain't going to be able to pass the bounds of prophecy, man. You know?
Right. And they threw. And their prophecy is on our side through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. This is why we're not afraid to tell you the straight gate is needed and we get ready to go down the straight. Because that's the only way out.
Right.
We're not here to speak smooth things to you, man. The only way out is through extreme measures, man.
Oh, yeah.
Much tribulation. Yo, enter into the king's. That's it. It said that in the time of Jacob's trouble, ye shall be saved out of it. That's the part you're supposed to remember, man.
That's it.
That's the dope. You was saved out of it? Okay.
Yeah. Come on with it.
So how?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua from the west.
From the west coast. See, the western hemisphere is where the bulk of prophecy is centered around. That's primarily where the prophets will be raised up at. We're currently in the northwestern hemisphere, okay, in Babylon the Great. Now, when you look at the map, okay, that hemisphere, that's where the tribes are primarily being raised up at and scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, okay? But right here is where that, somebody get Isaiah, the 19th chapter. They shall fear, Judah shall be a terror unto them. Read that real quick. Because that's what this whole system feared, an uprising starting primarily with Judah. Primarily with Judah, whoever got it.
I got it. Isaiah 19:17. In the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself.
Right, because Jake is going to be roused up. Now on the left-hand side, you're going to have these Jakes finally wake up to the system, and they don't have any spirit about them. They're going to turn up. And people will be like, oh shit, you know. Then on the right hand side of things, you got us, okay, who will ultimately fight a spiritual war, and that is bugging these people out. Go ahead.
It says, everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because
really they know what they did. And they know we're standing up for what we're doing is right. But in the back of their head, they got to tie us to black culture and all of these various different things to be justified in their bullshit. But now the way we talking is real. What can they say against this truth?
So that's why they just gonna have to come out of nowhere just to persecute us. The same thing happened during the time of the Lord.
Yep.
They had to conspire during the time when the Israelites, well, during the time of Acts, they had to make up something. Because people were being healed. People were coming out of that dirty mindset.
Finish this real quick.
It says, everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts.
Right. They stood up on their feet as a great army in great fear and fell up on them that saw them. Go ahead.
It says, which he hath determined against it. It says,
And what did he determine against this place? Destruction.
Right.
So people are going to start to see the prophecies being fulfilled, and they're going to get scared.
No, it's a
And
prophet.
see, there's people now, they're like, okay, now that they see where he's going with these next, because it's going to get locked down. People are starting to like, damn, what if the conspiracy were right? People are bugging out.
Energy's changing.
Energy is changing. Right. And that's in Esdras. The heart of the people shall be changed to another. And it's through what? Prophecy being fulfilled, man.
gain sales are being converted to.
Right.
Foolishness of preaching.
This is the prophecy on Judah, Genesis 49:9. Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey, my son, thou art gone up.
Right. Jake lost his spirit, man. And the heathen are the prey. Instead of being in your dominant position, you start to bow to the prey, man. Go ahead.
He stooped.
They don't fear you no more.
That's right.
Go ahead.
He stooped down. He crouches as a lion and as an old lion. Who shall rouse him up?
And we've been roused up through the Holy Spirit in these last days. When it looked like the old lion, when he's in his older years, it's like he through. He's just going to go somewhere and lay down and die. But the Lord is what? Going to rouse him up.
Yep.
Go ahead.
The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet.
Right, the high priest. All right, the scepter ultimately is going to come out of Judah. Okay? And the lawgiver is Yahushua ultimately. That's why it says in the book of Hebrews, Moses didn't speak of Judah when he talked about the high priest under that first covenant. Go ahead.
Right. Nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh come, and until him shall be gathering of the people he.
Right. Now get Deuteronomy 33. All right, to talk about Judah. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 33:7. And this is the blessing of Judah.
Right, this is before Moses died, right? This is the blessing of Judah. Go ahead.
And he said, hear, Lord, the voice of Judah, and bring him unto his people.
Yep, go ahead.
Let his hands be sufficient for him.
Read, start over, Salaki.
Come. Deuteronomy 33:7. And this is the blessing of Judah. And he said, hear, Lord, the voice of Judah, and bring him unto his people.
Hear the voice of Judah and bring him to his people. So Judah would be raised up first. Right? Judah would be raised up first, which would lead to the preaching of the word and all of the tribes being gathered. That's the blessing of Judah. Go ahead.
And let his hands
Because
be
the Lord left a spirit in Judah. The other tribes, they got unity, but their spirits all messed up on some level. The Lord left a little levelness in spirituality in Judah for the purpose of raising them up in these latter days to bring balance to the whole ordeal. It will be done through Judah. That's the head tribe.
What did Judah, the whole Joseph situation, when Judah stood up?
Yeah, he was the reasonable one. Although he had spirits on him too.
Yeah. Because I was like, he was the one that said, "Don't kill him,
Don't kill him.
let's sell him." And then when they got reunited, Judah was the one that stepped up. You know what I'm saying?
The fourth son of Jacob was for his mercy. Go ahead.
Let his hands be sufficient for him, and be thou in help to him from his enemies.
And his hands are sufficient to do the work. So the Lord put the Spirit, all right, starting with the apostles and elders, their elders before them, to do what? just go out and preach. They started to go out and preach. They started to go out to preach. And eventually the hearts of the fathers would turn to the children, the hearts of the children would turn to the fathers, and we've been raised up. Those labors that the Lord, the Spirit the Lord put on those men, okay, has led to absolute mass Israelites just waking up everywhere. Okay? Go ahead.
Let his hands
And it was primarily of the southern kingdom. Right? Abba Bivens and on down, the elder, the seven, our apostles and elders. All right? You had a few, then Ephraim started to come in. There you go. Go ahead.
Let his hands be sufficient for him, and be thou an help to him from his enemies.
And the Lord is a help unto us from our enemies because we got the truth. He gave us the Holy Spirit. That's the only way we're going to overcome these devils because they got too much power. The image is too strong. You cannot physically take down this image. The only way this image is going to be taken down is through preaching, through mere word, like the walls of Jericho. And it's happening. We're literally speaking the end of this bullshit into existence. And excuse our French, but sometimes there's only those are the only words to describe what we feel.
It's pure passion.
Yeah. All right?
It's going to self-destruct. It's already written.
Right.
See, we have to understand that the Most High is in control. And if you go against the way that He intended the world to be ran, it's going to break. All right? The Most High is in control of this, man. So we're just speaking what the Most High already told us. Like, hey, you live like this, I'm going to break it. And we're going to watch this place self-destruct. All right? There's going to be so many disputes amongst the children of men. And that's what's talked about. You know, we started out with 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. Right? That when you go back to that, that's what it leads to.
Let's read this real quick and then we'll go back to that. 59. Read that again.
Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood.
Right. So the fear of the Lord would lead to what? Esau losing his goddamn mind. That's right. He's going to come in like a flood because people repent. You know, the remnant. It's sad, hey, we also started off with Revelation, the 12th chapter, the 17th verse. The drag was brought with the woman. So any leader that's not preparing you for that, he's a false prophet. Right? And he's going to flee. When they come down hardcore, these leaders who were telling you to bow, and they're going to flee.
Mountains and caves.
Right? Go ahead.
The Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him.
Right. And that standard is only written about in the Holy Scriptures. You can't go to the Egyptian Book of the Dead and read about the standard. The only way to defeat this man is written in the Holy Scriptures, man. And it's through spiritual means. Through conquering death while in this flesh. And that's what the elect have been raised up to do. And it seems impossible. It's supposed to. All right? But all things are possible through Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right?
Right? It's Ezekiel 21, verse 8. Again, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith Yahweh, say, a sword is sharpened, and is also furbished.
Right, and the deeper we get into this, now you see Esau is the sword. Because he's bringing a lot of the calamities that are happening on the earth. Some of the famines are man-made. He's literally the sword. He's creating division, his propaganda. He's a literal instrument that the Lord is using. Go ahead.
It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Shall we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son.
Here it is. The sword is coming. Are we supposed to be jumping up and down, boasting and bragging on marriage, auctioning off Israelite brothers to women? Is that the spirit you're supposed to be in? Because all things have a time. Yeah, mirth has its time. But are we in the time of mirth according to Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter? No. Does that mean you don't smile? Does that mean we don't have a drink and laugh and lay our hair down at times? No. Yeah, we do those things. But that's not the vibration to push to Israel.
Recording us having a barbecue.
Well, it's just about being. We're not attracting people for that reason.
Right.
Right? People are following us. We're trapping. We're hitting people that's coming to this thing and attracting people by the truth. And the truth is that this place is going to crumble and fall. And we're in a time of preparation, preparing your mind, practicing the righteous acts, getting into that mindset to be covered whenever all hell breaks loose. You want to be building up as much spiritual treasure as you can, and that doesn't come by playing. It comes by getting the word out. This is what putting the work in is. It's the preaching of the word, the process of sending these letters out continuously, the confession, right? Because what we are building an army. We are building a host, right? Go ahead.
So 2 Peter 3:10, it says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
This is the expectation that we have when we believe in prophecy. Go ahead.
Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and goodliness?"
Right. So, what type of image are you having of yourself? All right. What are you pushing? Go ahead.
"And godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat."
Yeah.
Right? And I'm saying that to say this. Even though we understand that this is going on and we living in them times, we still got to go to work tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen overnight, but that's what I'm saying. The signs of the times is pointing in this direction. You see? And we'll say, yeah. I will say, while you at work, while you doing your thing, while you at the stove, that's what I'm saying. The angels is working in the spirit world. They working on the minds of the elites behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the Lord that's working on our minds. There's a lot of moving parts going on right now. You know? But that's what I'm saying. Now you got arguments about all type of stuff that don't even matter. You know?
Well, that's the holy conversation is hastening that. And you do that by having this conversation more, and that's what's happening, right? That conversation is speeding up. All right? Did you have one on that?
I had a little.
Let's go check it.
Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 11. And he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. The sword is sharpened, and it is furbished, to give it into the hand of the slayer. Cry and howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people. It shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon the thigh. When you smite the thigh, what it's talking about, you're like, man, listen, you know what I mean? Like, prophets, you gotta smite the thigh, man. Warning the people, let them know, look, the sword is sharp and getting ready to be used, man. Okay? That's the main message is to blow the alarm for a trumpet of impending doom is in the way. Okay? Not to be out here bullshitting and playing games about, he said, she said, all this little tacky ass shit, man. Yeah? Because your life is people's lives are changing daily. And it's about to just get more and more tighter. See? These devils, they know exactly who we are, man. So you on the vice with the guns and all that, hey, at the end of the day, if you want to make yourself an open target, the Lord put the spirit you to do that thing. But the main thing is that, look, danger is on the way.
Right.
Danger's coming, man.
And there's going to only be one particular type of person that is saved out of that danger. All right, so you have that the destruction is coming. All right, the sword is been furbished, getting ready to come, and then there's a message of salvation, man, and what that actually takes to achieve. Right? That's what's mentioned in the scriptures. Okay, what type of mindset? Okay, and how the preaching and confession of the word and the building of this is part of those that are going to be saved. So you align yourself with that mindset, pushing. All right, and if you're hastening the day, then you're urgent about it.
Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn.
Man, and that's what we're doing now. We understand that. There's not going to be anything that Esau is going to be able to do to take away the elect. The Most High made a promise. All right, so we have these competing things happening, man. Meanwhile, we're going to watch this place literally liquidate. Hyperinflation, everything that the scriptures talked about in the prophecies is starting to happen to this place, man. Plague, famine, rumor of war, earthquakes in diverse places. All right, polluted state of mind. Women are ruling over the men. Children are just outrageous. No legacy. These are all the things that it talks about in the prophecies, man. We're looking at that system.
Yep.
Getting ready to burn. Okay, go ahead.
This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord.
The servants of the Lord get the heritage of condemning this place. To see our enemies fall.
Like he talks about that lion rebuking the eagle. That's Yahweh, but he's speaking through us. He's speaking through the prophets.
Yeah. All right, so when you go to 2nd Ezra 15th chapter, it's the same type of meditation and prophecy towards this empire falling and the high will be.
Right.
You got it, right? 2nd Ezra 15.
Who y'all want to start at?
Yeah, you read on down. I'll let you read.
2nd Ezra 15:1, it says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth.
Right, so the way that this place is going, the image of the beast, and how it produces the image of Satan. All right, that's their father, man. They follow the spiritual demon Satan, and so they follow everything into what? Perdition, destruction, death. Death ruleth over. All right, so the Most High is going to bring these plagues because of their wickedness. Go ahead.
For
Real
wickedness.
quick. Wisdom of Solomon 14:27. For the worshiping of idols not to be named is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil.
Right? We're right in the height of that time. That's why you got Biden in his most demonic state. He's got high level spiritual demon energy on him right now, man. Yeah, you're gonna die.
Out his dominion.
Right. And so that whole energy is consuming the world. Because it's the spiritual demon Satan ruling all of them.
And we said that it was going to get wicked
Yeah.
when that cabinet got in office.
Yeah.
Not that it wasn't wicked before, but
Yeah.
wickedness would be heightened.
And it's on right now. It says, verse 7, it says, Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves.
If I may add on to that, that's the prophet's doing that starting right now.
Right.
Spirit of his mouth. The spirit of his mouth is condemning this place. The Lord is prophesying in the last days to let the people know what's getting ready to happen.
Sounding that alarm.
You know?
That alarm, that trumpet, like you were saying earlier. It says, Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood cried unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually.
Those are those who come under the umbrella of the sacrifice of Yahushua, and come out here to preach. Right, they're washed, they're made exempt from judgment, they're made clean and innocent in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. There's been an atonement, all right, and a rebonding, a marriage. There was the sacrifice of Yahushua. That pure sacrifice opened the door for us to be innocent in the eyes of the Heavenly Father again, right?
The Lord put his name on that ribbon. So for another entity, you put your name on your woman, another entity is standing up and saying, no, I'm going to put my name on her. So that's where we are. In prophecy where Esau don't want righteousness to spring up in the earth, man.
Right.
He wants to put a seal over it. So he's going to ultimately come after. Yeah, he's getting more. He's getting wicked, all right, on levels we never even thought of. And that's all to counteract with this word going.
Right. We're compelled and we're bold in our confession of the testimony of Yahushua, which is the spirit of prophecy. It says, and therefore, said the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Right. And this is the modern day Egypt right here, like he told you in Revelation 11 and 8.
Their dead bodies shall lie in the city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. It says, verse 11, but I will bring them out with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. We know what happened to ancient Egypt, man. It was smitten with plagues before the exodus out of Egypt.
Right, and that was Moses and Aaron speaking those plagues.
Right.
If you don't let the children of Israel go, this gonna happen.
Yep.
If you don't, it will happen. They would happen by what the prophets told them would happen.
Yep.
Right? So the same process is taking place here in America as plagues are being spoken on this place.
Bro, it's ridiculous. Like, there's always new types of cancers coming out. Like, it's literally cancer-filled society because of just the way things are ran. And now we got Marion, you got Delta, Lambda, you got the spread of this global freaking virus. Waves. Right, and now that you can talk about that, think about the level of depression that's now reported. Mental sickness is at an all-time high in this society. People are stressed out. Languishing. Depression.
I witnessed
that term the elder brought out called languishing.
I witnessed that. Yeah, I had a coworker that was. I'm talking about. He literally was he was the walking definition. Right?
Yeah.
If it was a person, it was my coworker.
Yeah, hurt. Yeah, it's literally a psychological term that just came out because of the shutdown. People are going through something called languishing, and it's like a hyper state of depression. You know, prophecy, man. Plagues everywhere, man. It's ridiculous to see. It's plague. Fish just popping up. Birds just falling out the sky. Plagues.
Drugs, they put drugs in the water, and the fish are getting high, changing it. You got bees eating meat. Everything is bugged out. Like they're not eating the honey, but they eat meat.
Wow.
Raw meat. They're like, what is it? That shows you the earth is out of its course. Why is that? Because the sons of God aren't ruling. The only way everything will be in harmony is through a righteous ruler under Yahweh Shai, that government.
Isaiah 24:4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The hardy people of the earth do languish. The earth
How are you on the earth unhappy? This is paradise. This is supposed to be paradise.
We live vicariously through the dude that's in Thailand over there, man. You know?
Here it is in California. These niggas are just killing one another in front of the beach. There's a beach right there.
Yeah.
Why are you mad? Because the devil is ruling.
Yeah.
And anybody with sense, I'm going to the beach.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy ourselves. But these niggas, let's be a crip. Fuck the beach. Let's be a crip.
be a crip line
Sunset, I mean, some of the most beautiful weather in California.
You bad.
You
gotta go
mad.
get the house back. You gotta go straight back to the
Everybody up
house.
under a palm tree.
That's bug out.
He would take peace from the earth. But that's the spirit of Satan. He made earth a prison. Go ahead.
The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
And that's just proof that the law, statutes, and commandments are effective when executed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Deuteronomy 28, I'm going to say Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14, that ain't go away. That's still a promise. You know what I'm saying? That's still a promise. So it lets you know. Just like every time we go, every time we fly, we see how much land it is out there that's available and how beautiful this place is. You know, it just got a stench to it. Like that video you did the other day, the earth is gonna have a great smell once this transition of rulership takes place. You know
We're gonna see to it. That's what the laws are gonna lead to. Paradise. People are gonna be like, wow. And they're gonna know and understand that Esau wasn't the way. Because the heathen right now, they're just now waking up that democracy is full of shit. They're learning Esau really ain't the way. But once we implement the laws